Until the gods spoke to man, he had no questions. Now, that doesn't have anything to do with anything. I knew if I didn't throw it in somewhere, and here, see, there's nobody else up here, so I can say anything I want to. We're about to do this little mystery thing, but this is something that we've been mentioning every week because it's so cool. I've heard this on the radio. This is a more or less true story. I mean, if you consider something that you heard on the radio, which means that a reporter had to report it, and somebody had to tell them, which is probably a publicist for somebody, and then that somebody probably put a little bit of, you know, whatever. So, anyway, I heard on the radio that the attorneys for Walter Leroy Moody, who is the fellow who's in federal prison in Savannah now, awaiting the charges in the mail bombing case, that Mr. Moody is in a little cell all by himself. And they're doing the pretrial motion type stuff. And the FBI has his cell bugged or monitored. So they're listening to him all the time. And I think, by the way, just to throw this in as an aside, and for any of you that's considering mail bombing as a potential career, you should remember this fact. They will bug your cell. So, I mean, if it were me, I'd be walking around the cell going, gee, I sure hope they find out I'm innocent. Which I am, by the way. In case, you know, that's just the way I am. Innocent. But anyway, Mr. Moody's attorneys have seized on, they received copies of these audio tapes, right? And they have discovered something in the audio tapes that indicates to them that they now have a sound basis for an insanity plea. And that is that Mr. Moody not only talks to himself, he answers himself as well. Well, all right, I'm not going to comment on that. Anyway, we have a little mystery here we want to present to you. And this mystery takes place in a very small area. It's a teeny tiny little area. This mystery takes place in the mind, in the curious, questioning intellect of an individual person. Now, there's this woman, and she's sitting in a chair in a little cafe. It's a little real exclusive for these pseudo new whatever they call it, you know, nouvelle cuisine type of deal, little cafes, and it's so exclusive that they only have 2 chairs, and if you insist, they'll take one of them away. And she has sought out this particular place because she wants privacy. She's expecting to meet a friend of hers. And she called this friend of hers because she thinks she has solved this mystery that's been kind of playing around in her mind for some time now. And she doesn't want anybody else to know about it because she thinks that the solution might endanger some people somehow. Now, this mystery, it's not a real long, drawn-out, complicated mystery that would take 20 minutes to explain, and it's also not it's one that's so simple that everybody's already thought of it. It's kind of a cute little mystery. It's something that first occurred to her when she was driving along the road one day. She was driving along and she noticed something out of the corner of her attention there, out of the corner of her eye, and she thought, gee, I've never seen that before. And then a little while later she saw it again, and the more she saw this phenomenon, the more she saw it. So that it occurred to her that until she first saw it, she was not aware of it, but then once she saw it for the first time, she started to see it more and more and more and more and more and more and more. And what this phenomenon was, if you put it in the form of a question, was, why do you always see one shoe in the road? Now I know that sounds really, really silly, but think of it. The next time you see that one shoe in the road, ask yourself, how did it get there? Where did it come from? Where's its mate? And pretty soon, you, like this woman, will start to realize that the streets, roads, avenues, boulevards, the thoroughfares of this great land are littered from sea to shining sea with discarded footwear, always one, never 2. Now, she thinks she's solved this mystery. And you can say, okay, any mystery carries within itself the germ of its own solution. And in this one, there's 2 possible ways to solve it. One, you could say that every single shoe that's there in the road got there a different way. That there's no relation among all these different shoes. Or 2, and I think one that's more entertaining to our friend here, is that it's all one big reason why all these shoes are in the road. There's one great answer. So she's sitting here because she thinks she might have stumbled upon this real secret, wild answer to this mystery. So ask yourself, as she's done, how absurd, that is, how interesting, could such an explanation be? Or how ridiculously funny, or that is, how intriguing could such an answer be? I mean, how hilariously stupid could such an answer be?
Bienvenue au Petit Restaurant Français. I am your wait person, Jean Delefleur. Will you be accompanied by someone this evening?
Yes.
Oh, then I shall return when they
yeah.
shoot.
And Vic, over here! Vic! Come on!
Oh,
so
Sheila,
glad you're
listen,
here.
I ran 3 red lights on the way over here. What is
I'm
so
so glad
important
you
that you
made
had to
it.
get me out of this meeting with Phyllis?
I
She's
think
like,
I have the answer. I think I finally have
what
the answer
answer?
to the mystery.
What mystery?
No, you wouldn't believe it.
What are you talking about?
The shoe thing.
The shoe thing. The
Vic,
shoe.
Wait, this is major. You
Sheila,
wouldn't
there
believe
is
what's
no
behind it.
mystery. There is no, there's,
Yes, there
there,
is.
their
You
shoes
know
are in the road. That's all. You
No,
go down the
no,
road,
I believe
and
what
there's
it
a
is.
shoe. It used to belong to somebody,
No.
now it's in the road. There is no reason why the shoes are in the road.
Yes,
They're
there
just
is. You
there.
wouldn't believe what it is. And I think they know. That's
They
why we're
know.
here with only 2 chairs. We
They
can't
know.
even trust Mr.
Mr. Who?
Not Mr. Who, Mr.
Oh.
Not
Good evening, monsieur. I'm Jean Delefleur. May I take your order?
We need something really quick.
Oh, we
like-
have a
something
special
cold.
on the, we have an appetizer, the barque de la Tri.
Okay, yeah, we'll have that. Sang Froid.
Pardon?
Sang froid.
Oh, the barque de la Tri. Sans franc.
Oh, Sheila, this is absolutely insane. There is no reason why. What's behind it is there's no longer a foot in the shoe.
No,
It's
you
on-
won't believe it. It's the most amazing thing in the whole
I'm
world.
sure. I can't wait to hear it, but
I
listen,
think
I
they
gotta
know.
make a very important phone call.
But
I'll be right
this
back.
is
Really,
unbelievable.
wait right here for
Vic,
me. I'm gonna make a phone call. I'll be right back.
Ah, madame, the barque de la Tri. Sans franc. Oh, madame.
This is a shoe. It's a shoe. He has no idea what has happened. No idea what has happened. I am the only one who knows what's happened. What's happened is I have gained an interest in alternative politics. That is, politics that aren't either left or right. Politics for those who are interested in something really radical and revolutionary. For those whose thirst cannot be quenched within the confines of the all-encompassing bell curve. I implore those who want to taste freedom and cannot because they believe in their heart of hearts that they are being denied drink from the trough of dignity. I ask you and you and you and you to join me in the march across that lake of fire that is boiling with the waters of wickedness. I ask, no, I beg you to stroll with me through the shifting sands of insincerity and lie with me on the beaches of broken promises until the sun of serenity breaks through the clouds of conformity and basks us in the glow of goofiness and allows us to taste the salt of silliness and the brine of Babaloo. I hope, and I mean this most sincerely, that the heather of heartbreak will soon end and be replaced by the angst of alliteration. And I hope that my cubic zirconian ring will bring more than its appraised value on a free and open market.
Sheila.
Yeah?
Sheila, are you talking to me, hon?
No, I'm just doing my exercises. Will you throw out my red shoe?
Sure, I think I see it. Wow! Oh, don't let go back!
This is a burglary.
A burglary.
A burglary. A burglary. by means of force.
He's robbing us! All right, hands up!
Wow. Hey, that was real. Sheila, how did you you mean you knocked his, I don't believe. Sheila, you haven't been taking those Donahue self-introspective rethinking of the modern woman's role as it relates to her true self classes after all now, have you?
No, I've been going to Gloria Weeder's Kill, Kill, Kill class.
Really good.
Okay, Mr. Burglar, if that's your real name, let's just you have a seat right over here
Yeah.
while we call the police.
Ha! That will avail you of nothing at all, for I have severed your crude lines of communication. I cut the phone wires.
Well, big deal. I'll just run down to the store and call the police.
Be my guest. You'll find it a long trip, for I have destabilized your puny dwelling. Ha ha! You are now floating in space.
This guy's out of his mind. What's he talking about?
Simply take a look out the portal, human.
You gotta be kidding. That's the oldest trick in the book. Nobody look at. What do you mean go look? Oh, look out of the window. The humor of this guy. He's nuts.
Look!
I'll just go call the police. Okay. Oh, God! Oh, Sheila, come here quick. Look, tell me that's not the Earth down there. Tell me we're not in outer space. Tell me it's some kind of mind control, some kind of hypnosis. Please.
Okay. What's this all about? Come on.
You'll find out soon enough.
Oh, that's real coy. What is it with that mask anyway?
Yeah.
Nobody wears a mask like that.
I prefer that my identity remain unknown for the present time.
Take it off.
No.
I said take it off! Or I'll use a louvered pincer on you.
What is a louvered pincer?
You don't want to know, man.
Very well. Over there, human.
What's you driving? What's going
In for?
Yes, Minborg.
Menborg? What kind of name is that?
Credulian. Minvork, you're dead. You were taken out by the Strumps.
So they would have you believe.
Hold it! Wait just something is a little off here, if you don't mind my saying so, Sheila. Just a second. The house has been destabilized. We're in outer space. You know this guy named Menborg? He's a Credulian. He was taken out by the Strumps. Is there something you haven't been telling me?
Yes, Lester.
Well, what is it?
I've refinanced our home equity loan.
You see, Lester, Vishwa, whom you now know as Sheila, and I were to be bonded at the next diurnal seeding ceremony. Only I was delayed in the souffle scuffle on screen. Vishwa, thinking I had been killed, fled here to do the seeding on her own. After a brief period of recuperation, I followed her ion trail to this tiny orb, only to find that she has taken on another, without going through the millennium of mourning.
Oh, what? Forget the millennium of mourning. The seeding has begun to take. This planet will soon be ours.
Yes.
We can be together.
But, what of the human Lester?
Oh, we can turn him into a love sleigh. Or at least a small tote bag.
I can use another bag.
Hold it! Just 1 minute here. I don't think you know who you're dealing with here. This is Mr. Lester Bragg of old planet Earth. If you think I'm going to sit here and let you see the Earth or whatever it is you're doing, you've got another thing coming. For as long as I know that I am and part of a larger group of me's, I'll fight to the death. I'll fight to the death to prove to me that I am all of me that me says that I am.
Well, Lester, you certainly convinced me. I guess you'll be wanting this.